absolute funnest things to do in this auto body detailing trade is polish and paint. You know, you do all that hard, nasty work of block sanding and then going in the booth and painting and, you know, going through all of whether the color's going to be right, putting the clear down, and all of those steps are very technical, and you have to be experienced to do that, and then you get to the buffing part. It has always been a fun part of the trade for me, and I just want to go through some steps for you guys at home, DIYers. The name of this video is DIY with CSI. Good morning, everybody. We're outside and we're going to do a detail on a 458 Ferrari. I'm going to do a walk around on the car and kind of point out some things that we want to fix on this car, and just talk about how simple a detail like this is using ceramics. Beautiful 458. This is, you know, this car is pretty new. It's not brand new by any means, but you know, it needs a detail. We're going to look for surface scratches. You know, it's not too bad. Towel scratches, the paint, and we're going to get this tight when we do the, you know, when we do the final inspection in the sun. We've got a lot of towel scratches on this car, but overall, it is a beautiful paint job. We've mill gauge checked this car. Doesn't look like it's had any paint work on it at all, which is nice. There's nothing worse than getting into a car like this and then finding out, you know, it's been spotted and a whole bunch of other things. So be careful with that, you know, when you're analyzing what you're working on. That's important. These customers are very picky, and you know, they want to make sure that you know what you're doing. Check out the brakes on this car. Carbon. It, you know, this car's, they say this car was, you know, close to 300,000 when it was new. We're only looking at this side of the car because this is a side in the sun. It's not bad. It's a black metallic. We haven't wiped it off or anything, so it's got a light layer of dust just from driving it over here. You can see just a basic towel scratch. So that's what the car looks like. Should be a fun project, and the idea of this, or the point of this video, is to just show you how easy basic polishing. This is a new mini polisher that we have here at CSI, a Flex tool, and I'm going to open the box and show you what it's all about. We're going to use it in the tight areas on the Ferrari. Here's the part number. So this is a tool, opened up. This is a bag that you get. It's real nice. Everything stays organized, and you know, that's one of the keys. You need to stay organized when you do this stuff. This is the 3-inch tool, and I'll put the camera down. I'm doing this one-handed, and I'll show you how. This is the quick disconnect right there, just so you can get the idea how that works. This is for doing straight line, for doing sanding. You can see it has a little stud in the middle there, and it's made for these 1-inch backing plates right there. So you can use either PSA or Velcro back sandpaper for doing sanding. This is a short throw DA for doing sanding. I think it's 3 millimeter. This is specifically made for sanding. One, so you don't get a big hook it mark when you do your sanding. And then this is for doing DA polishing. And that's what you're going to see me use on the Ferrari. So this is a long throw, or longer throw than the 3mm. I think it's 7mm. But you can look online and see exactly what that is. But it's got a nice throw to it. It details out very, very nice. And I believe this tool spins at 3,500 RPM. Oh wow, 5,800 RPM. So you can actually go up to 5,800 RPM with this tool, and then you get 2 batteries. So, you know, obviously the batteries are all rechargeable. Hopefully these are all charged. Yep, fully charged. So, you know, that's the tool. And then I'll show you how to use it in, you know, on all the nooks and crannies. Again, it's really, really important to stay organized. Get a nice little cabinet like this, just to put everything in. This is Harbor Freight. Actually, I bought this at Harbor Freight. It's a very nice tool, or a very nice cabinet. Completely powder coated, it looks like. It's, you know, heavy gauge metal. It wasn't very expensive at all. The doors lock. And you want the doors to lock with, you know, all these expensive tools. So these are going to be the lights that we use. There's 2 of these lights up on top of the cabinet, and you'll see how I'm doing the adjustment on the back with my finger. You can actually adjust these lights with an app that you download to your phone. And you just, you know, when you're sitting there next to the car, you can highlight special areas with the app on your phone, and it really gets really bright. You know, bright enough that you don't want to look into them, but it helps to point out all the little tiny scratches in the paint. So just something to make life a little bit easier. The Flex batteries work in the back, plus the lights have their own built-in battery. So you don't necessarily have to add a battery to them, but they, you know, they're going to go through power. So you keep a charged battery in there and they last for a long time. Today's video is going to be for DIY, do-it-yourselfers, using one single product, CSI Ceram-X. And you've seen lots of videos directed towards the professional side, towards body shops and production shops, custom shops, on how CSI Ceram-X works for cutting and polishing. Today we're going to do detailing work. We're going to go through a few different tools. We're going to talk about even options, less expensive options, but you know, maybe the drawbacks on those less expensive options, all again using one single product. You've seen the video, you know, we talked about it earlier, unbagging or unboxing the 3-inch polisher. It's a DA tool, oscillates. You can see how it's got a dual action head on here with, I believe, a 7mm throw. It's the largest one of these little devices right here that unclips and clips back in. The 3-inch throw is for sanding, and then the larger throw is for DA polishing. We have 2 different pads for this tool. We have a maroon pad, which is going to give you more cutting ability, and then this pad, the blue pad, which will give you a finer cutting ability, and there's really no need to go any finer than this. You can cut and finish with this. If you use a maroon pad, we do recommend that you go over the surface with this blue pad. All again using CSI Ceram-X. So remember all the scratches, you know, and I'll do a side-by-side on the video, and I have to remind myself what to do. You know, this isn't what I do for a living, video editing, but it's fun. So I'll put a video in there next to what I'm doing right now to show you the before and after. of what we're working with. There aren't really any scratches on this car that are bad, but there are enough scratches on this car that say this car needs to be detailed, needs to be polished. Most of what we're going to do today, and I mean 99% of what we're going to do today, will be done with this 3-inch tool. Now this 3-inch tool, we talked about the speeds of this 3-inch tool. You can go very, very slow with this tool, but it goes up to 5,800 RPM. So you clip it on, turn it all the way down. Very easy to use. You know, it's oscillating, so it's not going to hurt if you touch it. And then, if you want to get more aggressive, if you've got a lot of scratches on the car, you just turn it up all the way to 5,800 RPM. Right there. Right? Just makes short work of polishing paint. We're going to talk about a regular DA. Right? These are all Flex tools. We're a dealer for Flex. This is awesome. It is expensive. Doesn't have a cord, and you know I can work all day with this, just changing the battery. I know they say these batteries probably last longer than what I'm going to say, but I can get about 20 hard minutes out of this battery. But I've always got a battery on the charger, so I just take it off, put it on, and I've never ever had to sit around and wait for that battery, 2 batteries to cycle for me. Normally I get tired. So, this works great for doing bigger areas. And there might be some areas on here that I will have to address with this tool. Probably not though. I probably won't have to use this 5-inch tool on this car, because the 3-inch tool is going to do so much of this car. The only other tool that I'm going to have to use will be the rotary tool. Now this is a straight rotary, again, battery powered. There's only a couple places down on the lower half of the body that I see some scratches that I'm going to have to address. This is our special low lint wool pad, so you're not going to get a bunch of fuzz in the shop. Using Ceram-X, cut it out, just go over the surface with the rotary tool. You can totally regulate it with the trigger, and then you've got a dial here to regulate it down. So, it just makes using a rotary a lot safer. Get out the big scratches with this tool, and I don't think I'm going to need anything but this tool and this tool. That's it. And we're going to do this whole car. So as far as DIY work, doing it in your garage, you can do this stuff in the sun. The CSI Ceram-X loves working in the sun. It's not going to get sticky. There's minimal dust, no dust at all when you're using a DA tool, and unless you just overuse it and take it all the way to dry. But there's no reason to do that. Just the product stays wet for plenty of time, and just allow it to do its work and then wipe it off. It's made to do it that way. If you're using CSI Ceram-X with a rotary and you are not applying the product to the pad, you'll get a little more dust using the product. But if you use it properly, put the product on the pad, you're going to see that you're going to get minimal dust with this product using it with a rotary. And just take out the scratches and then go over it with an oscillating tool and finish it up. There is nothing funner in the automotive trade, auto body detailing trade, than polishing paint. So we're going to go step by step on how to do a car like this and make it look absolutely flawless. Then we're going to check the work. We're going to go out in the sun and make sure that we did the conversion from these basic towel scratches that are all over this paint job to a polished finish. If we're using a rotary, we're going to get a slight rotary mark from that, and it has to be converted to the DA polisher with the foam pad. So always, always, always finish your work with the foam pad. You're not done if you're doing it just with the rotary and the wool pad. You can do rotary and a foam, but if you have both tools, then just finish it with the, with the rotary and, finish it with the DA, sorry. You don't have to finish it with the rotary and a foam. You can go directly to this DA polisher and finish the any wool pad scratches. But for most all of this right here, we're going to come in close with the camera and you're going to see the work that we're doing. It's going to totally remove all of these light towel scratches that are in the car, all with this pad and CSI Ceram-X. Okay, that totally took it out. Looks perfect. Removed all the little towel scratches up on top there and removed that scratch. So it looks really nice and shiny. You've got direct lighting on there. Looks great. Really brought up the shine on that too. So now I'm going to go over the door. You can see all the towel scratches on the door. Let's see what that 3-inch tool does on the door there. Again, put the product on the pad.
So I'm looking into the light, I'm using the lights. You can see the product never dries up, and there's no dust, none at all. I'm using a new pad. There's no swirl marks. You can see how nice that looks now. I hear from people and they say they're getting dust. Well, it's probably because the pads are all full of product, and the product on the pad dries up. So clean your pads. You can dunk them in water and clean them overnight, and then just put them on the tool and get all the water out of it and let them dry. And have some reserve pads so that you can really get this to look good. But look at how fast that was. We really made short work of all of the scratches that were in there. It looks really, really nice. What a difference. And that was real time. So now we're gonna, continue to do the rest of the car, and then we'll look at it in the sun and see what it looks like. So here's the car all finished up. It looks great. There's no wax on this. There's no quick detailer on it at all. So you're getting a little tiny bit of a towel scratch from the microfiber. That'll all go away when you wax it, but there's no swirl marks. Everything looks nice. We're in direct sun. There's no clouds right now at all. So it's, it's right, you're looking right inside the paint. This is the quarter panel. We're coming down the quarter panel right now. Just, trying to highlight as much. The shadow is in the way a little bit, but we'll get it here into some direct sun. This is a before, just so we remember what we were taking out. We're taking out a real severe towel scratch. But the color looks so much better. It's got a vivid black color to it. Right on the highlights, everything looks nice. There's no distraction from any swirl marks. It looks really, really nice.
So I just want to recap what we did on this 458 Ferrari. We went over all of the paint on the car. We saw that it was basically just towel scratches. There was a couple places underneath the car, below the belt line, that I did have to go over it with the rotary. It looked like a little bit of paint transfer actually, but it came right off with the rotary. Chances are I could have got it off with the 3-inch. I didn't try, I just went after it with the rotary, and it came right off. Then I hit that area with the 3-inch tool, and it came out perfect down there below the belt line. But the whole top side of the car, at least 98% of the car I did do with that 3-inch tool. Went over just like I did the door. I think it took a couple minutes to do the top side of that door using the blue foam pad and Ceram-X to cut and polish. So it does the cutting and the polishing all at once when you use that blue pad with the ceramic polish. So it made really short work of those little tiny scratches that were there. And then I did try the 15 millimeter, the larger Flex DA on the hood. And I found that the finish was actually better when I used the 12 millimeter 3-inch tool. So then I went back over the whole hood with the 3-inch, and the finish looked much better with the 12 millimeter. So that might be something to play with, when you're working on black cars, to play between the 12 millimeter throw and the 15 millimeter throw. It made a difference using Ceram-X. It wasn't bad with the 15 millimeter and the red foam pad, which is our finest foam, but the finish was definitely better with the 12 millimeter and a little bit more aggressive pad. So it's going to take a little bit of experimenting when you start to dial in that paint finish to get that. One of the things that I talked about when we did the video was less expensive options. We just did a trade show back east with Tamco, a big paint company back east. They had a trade show, and my Flex tools were on the way, but they hadn't made it yet, and the show had started. So the Flex tools were supposed to be there that day, but I didn't want to wait. So I just ran down to Harbor Freight, which was about 3 miles away, and I bought a $99 rotary polisher. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is that's pretty inexpensive for a rotary polisher, and that was the most expensive rotary polisher Harbor Freight had. They had 3 other versions, but I didn't want to go, I was afraid maybe they didn't work. But that $99 tool ended up working very well. As soon as I got back to the show, my Flex tools, of course, did show up. And I just kind of played with that Harbor Freight tool a little bit. And then I ended up giving it to somebody back there because I didn't want to fly back with the, with the Harbor Freight tool. So there are lots of options out there when it comes to tools. If you want to spend the money for the convenience of a battery-powered tool like I have, they're great tools, and we'll give you a super deal. Call me if I can help out on that, and we can go over pricing on those tools. Whether it be the 3-inch tool that we did that car with, or the 5-inch 15mm DA, or the rotary, all battery-powered. If you want to go with corded tools in Flex, they're going to be less expensive than the battery-powered tools. We have those too. But Harbor Freight has some great options. They have DAs and they have rotary tools. We have the pads to fit, the 5-inch DA. So we have a super fine foam pad to fit that 5-inch DA, whether it be the Flex or the Harbor Freight. And then we have all the rotary pads for whether it be Harbor Freight or the Flex rotary powered buffer. So I just wanted to go over those options on there. You don't have to spend outrageous amount of money with the tools. One, the idea behind CSI is to just keep it simple. That whole KISS, absolutely keep it simple. A simple tool, one single product, a minimal amount of pads. On this Ferrari, we only used the blue foam pad on 98% of the car. I used the wool pad, below the door in that one spot, and I did try the 5-inch DA pad on the hood, but found that the 3-inch blue pad worked better using Ceram-X to look at that in the sun. So just wanted to kind of recap everything that we did. I think the car came out great. We do have a special offer, and I'm going to put it up here on the screen with the 3-inch Flex polisher. I'll give away free an 8-ounce bottle of polish, and I'll give away a 2-pack of those blue pads. The blue pads come 2 per pack, and I'll give those away if you buy the polisher from us. So we'll give you a great deal on the polisher, and I'll throw in the 8-ounce bottle of Ceram-X and 2 free blue pads. If you hopefully you've watched all the way to the end of this video. I'll put up the website and the code for buying on that website so that you can buy that 3-inch polisher with the 8-ounce bottle of Ceram-X and the blue pads. So I hope this video helped out, made it look a little bit easier for DIY people, guys, girls. Just for, you want to polish your car, you want to make it look great. We do have wax, we do have quick detailer, we have those products too. That wasn't the purpose of this video. This video was just to remove those little towel scratches and make your car look as good as possible. So if you like the video, please like us on YouTube and click that bell so you can be reminded every time we do a video. We're trying to do videos more and more. It is it's very time consuming to do this, but I enjoy it. It's fun. It's something that you know, I've enjoyed doing my whole life as far as polishing goes. And this whole idea of creating videos is a little bit new for me, but I'm enjoying that too. So thank you for your support, and see you in the next video. Bye.